Wander Franco, the player who the Rays bet their future on. He was ranked the best prospect in all of baseball prior to the 2020 season at just 18 years old. He was then called up to the major leagues the next season in June of 21, where he impressed the Rays so much that in the same offseason, just 5 months after his debut, the Tampa Bay Rays offered and agreed to the largest contract they have ever given out in team history. However, just over a season after that, it is more than likely a reality that not just will he never play another Major League Baseball game again, but he may end up in prison. Wander Franco's MLB career, when it's all said and done, may be the biggest what-if story in baseball history. Growing up in the Dominican Republic, Wander Franco was surrounded by baseball. When he was just 12 years old, he dropped out of school after the 6th grade and he joined a small baseball program run by a family friend to start training for a future in professional baseball. That small program he joined had connections with respected and well-known trainers at larger baseball programs. From there, he eventually joined Rudy Santin's MVP Sports Academy in Santo Domingo. Santin was a former Major League scout at the time who worked for almost 3 decades between the Giants, Rays, and Yankees. He then became a player trainer starting in 2011. Believing that Franco was special and undoubtedly a future major leaguer, Santin took him under his wing where he attended and performed at showcases as well as workouts and tryouts within MLB team academies in the Dominican Republic. This is a common route to take for prospective MLB talent within the international market. Fast forward to the year 2014, where the Rays were first introduced to Franco by Santin. Head of Rays International Scouting and Player Development, Carlos Rodriguez, was there to scout Jesus Sanchez. However, Franco was shown to him as a surprise by Santin. By this time, Franco already had the presence of a big leaguer. Being the nephew of Willie and Eric Ibar and Jose Ramirez's neighbor, he became pretty familiar with the big league life. Additionally, at the time, he had 2 older brothers playing in the minor leagues. Wander Javier Franco was playing with the Royals, and Wander Alexander Franco was playing with the Astros minor league system. With the talent he was showing and surrounded by, the sky was the limit for Wander. Fast forward to July of 2017, he signed with the Rays for $3.85 million. In his first minor league season, which was in 2018, at just 17 years old, he immediately made an impact. In 61 games played for the rookie ball Princeton Rays, he batted .351 with 11 homers and an OPS of 1.004. If that wasn't crazy enough, in 242 at-bats, he struck out only 19 times. Next, in 2019, he was promoted to the low A ball Bowling Green Hot Rods. Here, he found it a little bit more challenging, but showed the promise the Rays wanted to see. In 62 games, he batted .318 with 6 homers and an OPS of 896. He proved yet again to be very difficult to strike out, as he had almost identical at-bats to strikeouts as the year prior, 272 at-bats to 20 strikeouts this time. Later that year, he was promoted to advanced A-ball with the Charlotte Stone Crabs. He batted .339 with an OPS of 872, and not surprisingly, in 223 at-bats, only struck out 15 times in 52 games played. We now skip to the 2021 season, since 2020 minor league baseball was canceled due to COVID. Starting this year as the #1 prospect in baseball for the 2nd year in a row, the Rays promoted Wander to AAA, skipping AA entirely. He played 40 games for the Durham Bulls. He batted .313 with 7 homers and improving his OPS from Advanced A in 2019 from 872 to 955. It was at this time that the Rays decided it was time for Wander to be a big leaguer. In his minor league career before the call-up at just 20 years old, he played 214 games, batting .332 with 27 home runs and 145 RBIs. On June 20th, 2021, the Rays announced to their fans and the rest of the league that their shortstop of the future was here. He immediately made an impact to the team. In the 70 games he played with the Rays that year, he batted .288 with 7 home runs and an OPS of 127. He came in 3rd for Rookie of the Year, losing out to teammate Randy Arozarena. However, Wander Franco and the 2021 Rays won 100 games that year and finished 1st in the AL East. Although they lost to the Red Sox 3-1 in the ALDS, it was clear that something special was brewing in Tampa, Florida. That November, just 5 months after his debut, the Rays had seen enough and decided it was time to lock down the 20-year-old Franco as their superstar shortstop of the future. Franco and the Rays agreed to the largest contract given out in Rays history. It was for 11 years and $182 million. This included a club option for a 12th year and an additional $25 million, which would only be his age 32 season at that point. However, 2022 was not the season that Franco envisioned. He played in only 83 games due to 2 injuries that sidelined him for significant time. He did get off to a hot start, batting .381 in his first 5 games with a .934 OPS, but he missed his first game in Chicago on April 18th due to right quad tightness. He then came back to the lineup without losing a step. The next 3 games, he hit for a .393 average and a .111 OPS through 13 games. But this was not the end of his leg issues. He played in 32 more games before eventually going on the injured list on May 31st, where for the season he was hitting .213 with a .552 OPS. Almost a month later, he comes back on June 26, where he hit .225 with a .622 OPS in 13 games. But disaster struck again when he broke his hamate bone in his right hand swinging. This caused him to miss an additional 2 months. However, he came back in early September. Over the last 25 games of the season, he batted .332 with an OPS of .853, but he had a disappointing 2 postseason games where the Rays were swept by the Guardians. In those 2 games, he only went 1 for 9 in that series. This playing inconsistency caused him to never really get into a rhythm. Although he finished the season with an OPS of .116, this was below expectations fans and the Rays had after giving out the largest contract in team history to him. Nonetheless, Franco and the Rays' focus was to get him healthy and ready for 2023, and ready he was. The Rays got off to a torrid start, going 13-0 to begin the season, tying the 82 Braves and the 87 Brewers for the longest win streak to start a season in the modern era. They outscored opponents 101-30. Everything seemed to be clicking. They then went on to win 30 of their first 39 games, being first place in the AL East since July with their best record in franchise history at the All-Star break, going 58-35. The 22-year-old Franco was a huge part of the team's success. He stayed healthy, became an all-star for the first time, and put up career numbers. In 112 games played, he batted .281 with 17 homers, 30 stolen bases, and an OPS of .126. Things were looking up for both the Rays and Franco until something truly unexpected happened.
Moving now, Major League Baseball looking into allegations about Rays all-star shortstop Wander Franco.
Into our newsroom tonight, officials in the Dominican Republic are now investigating allegations regarding Rays superstar Wander Franco.
Major League Baseball has launched an investigation into the Rays shortstop Wander Franco.
Diario Libre, which is a Dominican newspaper, reported that a 17-year-old girl filed a complaint with the Dominican Attorney General in July against Wander Franco. On August 13th, 2023, rumors appeared on social media that alleged he was in a relationship with a minor. Franco took to Instagram Live on the same day, just an hour before first pitch in the Rays clubhouse, to refute these allegations. He went on to say, "They say I'm in public with a little girl, that I'm running around with a minor. People don't know what to do with their time. They don't know what they're talking about. This is why I prefer to be on my side and not get involved with anybody. I'm just here focused, doing my thing, thank God. That's why I prefer to not get involved with anybody, because people are so gossipy." Jose Siri walked by in the video dancing and shouting, "It's just people after money." During that game, Franco was seen in the dugout at least in the beginning of it, but left in the middle of the game and never returned. Rays manager Kevin Cash was asked about it.
There was some speculation we saw him leave the dugout in the game and then come back.
Yeah, I'm aware of this speculation. I'm not going to comment any further on that, but the day off was because the day off.
In a strange coincidence, that same game, the Rays had a giveaway for Wander Franco hats for fans 14 and under on the same day that allegations started surfacing that he had inappropriate relations with a 14-year-old girl in the Dominican Republic. The Rays caught wind of the allegations and immediately put out a statement the same day after the game. They said, "During today's game, we were made aware of the social media posts that are circulating regarding Wander Franco. We take the situation seriously and are in close contact with Major League Baseball as it conducts its due diligence." On August 14th, 2023, Wander Franco was placed on the restricted list for a week while Major League Baseball launched an investigation within hours of social media posts began surfacing online the day before. After that week, on August 22nd, he was placed on administrative leave indefinitely due to multiple active investigations into allegations he had relationships with underage girls in his home country of the Dominican Republic. At that point in time, we knew that there was at least 2 girls that raised concerns here. The first girl went specifically to law enforcement. The second girl posted pictures on social media with her and Franco together, alleging that she was in a relationship with him. I won't be posting those photos in this video as minors are involved. One of the girls involved is rumored to be 14 years old, and the other claims she was with him when she was 17 and he was 22. At the time, no charges were filed against him, as both the Dominican police and the MLB Department of Investigations were currently working on the case at hand. As far as the police investigation was concerned, a prosecutor told reporters that a division specializing in minors and gender violence was directing the police investigation. MLB then issued the following statement. With administrative leave, a player could challenge this. However, both MLB and the MLB Players Association agreed to place Franco on it until further notice. The Rays then said in a statement, "We support Major League Baseball's decision to place Wander Franco on administrative leave. The Tampa Bay Rays are dedicated to upholding high standards of integrity both on and off the field. We appreciate the understanding and patience of our fans and supporters as this process unfolds. We will have no further statements on this matter until MLB completes its process." On August 31st, it was reported that a third underage girl has come forward to Dominican authorities to accuse Wander Franco of having an inappropriate relationship with her as well. Franco did not return to play for the rest of the season, and he was kept on the indefinite administrative leave. Fast forwarding to November 2nd, right as the MLB offseason has begun, he was activated to the roster, as the leave does remove a player from the 40-man. However, it is expected that he is placed back on leave as soon as the offseason ends. The laws of pursuing criminal charges in the Dominican Republic are generally straightforward. The age of consent for any sexual activity is 18 years old. There are no Romeo and Juliet laws like in America that allow being close in age as an exception. Any person that is over the age of 18 that has sexual contact with a person under the age of 18 can be prosecuted. However, in the Dominican Republic, according to ESPN, criminal matters there are resolved similarly to how civil cases are solved in the United States. The person charged can provide payment to the victim's family. If the victim's family deems they are happy and satisfied with the outcome, they could choose to not further pursue the criminal charges. Although technically Franco is not considered a wanted man by authorities in the DR, reports started coming out on December 27th that the police of Santo Domingo's prosecutor's office for children and adolescents carried out 2 separate raids in Franco's homes in the DR in search of him. They did not find him, and at this time his whereabouts are currently unknown. He was then issued a summons to appear in a DR court 2 days later. However, not only did he fail to appear, he dismissed his entire legal team ahead of the court deadline to appear. As it stands now, the judge is indicating that the process must continue and that there are several other options to move forward with. However, there are no details as to what those options are. There's been no communication from Franco nor his agents. As his whereabouts remain unknown, this is truly unprecedented for Major League Baseball, but it's pretty clear that if these allegations are true, he will never play another game in MLB again. Thanks for watching. What are your thoughts on this whole situation? Sound off in the comments below. Leave a like and subscribe, it really helps the channel a lot. I'll catch you in the next video. Later.